Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Today, July 27th, 2016, one of the big headlines was the acquittal of the remaining officers in the Freddie Gray trial. It was a trial to see if these officers were responsible for murder and manslaughter in the reported death of the young man Freddie Gray. If you have not seen my work on Freddie Gray, please go to YouTube, search Zachary K. Hubbard plus Freddie Gray. I have a number of videos on Freddie Gray from when it happened up to the present, showing exactly what's being done with this coded narrative, which is a completely fictional story made to provoke the people of this nation, to make them divide among race and beliefs. From the very beginning, I explained what the Freddie Gray hoax story was, and it was very much a recreation of the events of the Civil War. Freddie Gray was arrested April 12th, 2015 in Baltimore, and reportedly died April 19th, 2015 in Baltimore. This is significant because the Civil War began April 12th in history, 1861, and the first death in the Civil War was in Baltimore, April 19th. Reportedly, the first week of the Civil War, there were no deaths until Baltimore, April 19th. And what happened for the first deaths were gray coats were confronted by protesters in Baltimore, which resulted in shots being fired and the first recorded casualties of the war. The first battle in the Civil War took place April 12th in Charleston. They said no human died, only a horse from cannon fire. And recall, just before the Freddie Gray story out of Baltimore, there was the story of Walter Scott getting shot in the back by a police officer in Charleston. And then after the Freddie Gray story, there was the church shooting in Charleston by Dylan Stormroof. The killing of Walter Scott came April 4th, the 47-year anniversary of the death of Martin Luther King Jr. The church shooting came exactly 74 days after that and was blamed on a young white supremacist named Dylan Stormroof. White supremacist in Gematria sums to 74. Dylan Stormroof sums to 74. It came 74 days after the Walter Scott killing. Masonic equals 74. Jewish equals 74. It is the Masonic Zionist Jews who control the media, who are contriving these narratives by the numbers to divide people. You read the Protocols of Zion written in 1800s. This is exactly what they say they would do. Divide the people using their tools of media and more. They would divide them among race, religion, sex, sexuality, etc. So with all this Civil War theming, today's date, July 27th, 2016, is a date with a life lesson number of 43. Again, Civil War equals 43, Charleston equals 43, Abraham Lincoln, the Civil War president, born on the 43rd day of the year. Barack Hussein Obama, who has many parallels to Lincoln, is the 44th president, but really only the 43rd person to be president. He was elected November 4th, 2008, a date with 43 numerology. He gave his acceptance speech in Grant Park. Grant Park in Gematria equals 43. Think about all these racially divisive narratives in the time of the Obama presidency. This is no coincidence. It's because the Zionist Jews scripted the presidency of Barack Obama, and they scripted all this racial division in the time of his presidency. I was telling people in 2008 that the Obama presidency was a setup, and they were going to work to divide us, kill hope, tear apart the nation further. When you wake up to see who's running this nation and how they're running it, you'll start making the same predictions I've been making for now going on a decade. People got to wake up. This knowledge of Gematria, it has real power to awaken and enlighten people to what is truly going on. Understand this. I recognize the police in this nation, they can be very racist. They get away with murder and worse. What I need people to realize is these stories in the mainstream are contrived and made to provoke people. The police officers who get away with murder in this world, their stories never sniff the light of the media. They never sniff justice. That's why people, when they hear these stories, they believe them, because they're playing off real narratives, but they're made to be over the top and extra provoking. This is why today we get the final acquittal. Again, if you want to see all the work I've done on Freddie Gray, please check it out. There was the big acquittal earlier this year on May 23rd. The same day Obama went to Vietnam, Vietnam was a civil war. Obama's visit was by the numbers. The first name Barack has the same gematria as Civil War as well. Lots of important information, just a YouTube search away. Please check it out. Thanks as always for listening. Until next time, Truth Seekers.